What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Link Up with Latesha. I am your host, Latesha Byrd, and this podcast is for young professionals that need some real deal advice, tips, and resources to navigate corporate America and dominate their career. If you're looking to upgrade your brand, get the knowledge you need to level up professionally for your future, you're in the right place. I'm here with Living Corporate, and today we're talking about changing your mindset to stop settling in your career. If you all have been listening to the previous episodes, you know that I'm a career coach. Worked with hundreds of professionals over the past few years, just helping them identify what their dream careers are and how to actually go out and secure them. And one thing that I have realized over the course of being a coach is that a lot of us really struggle with changing our mindset around what we deserve and knowing what we truly deserve and not settling in our career. If you are settling in your career and you know it, this podcast is for you. There's a few tips that I have on how I want you all to think about what your life would look like if you were actually doing something that you truly loved. The main thing that you'll hear when you tell someone that you are looking for a new job is, all right, you got to get your resume together. Make sure you get your LinkedIn together. Go and reach out to these recruiters, right? Like, that's the advice we typically hear. But no one truly talks about your mindset and being mentally prepared to actually think about looking for a new job, going about the job search, thinking about or putting energy and effort and time into figuring out what it is you want to do. Then on top of that, you have to go and talk to people. You got to apply to these jobs, sit around and wait for interviews. I mean, it is a whole thing. It's not just as easy as, boom, get my resume done, boom, get my LinkedIn done, right? And one thing that I've heard a lot of people say recently, and my clients have said this before, and they know I will always get on you if you say this. I'm hoping this job will give me a chance. If you've ever said that before, this is for you. I want you to change your mindset around that. You have so much more control over your career than you give yourself credit for. So instead of asking yourself or telling yourself, I hope this job will give me a chance, ask yourself, do I want to give them a chance? Okay. Again, you went to school for your degree, your master's degree. You have the qualifications, you have skills, you have experience. No one can take that away from you. You know, it is yours. And we have to stop doubting that we're good enough for this, for this career that we ultimately desire. We are quick to talk ourselves out of applying to jobs if we don't meet all of the requirements. We talk ourselves out of things that we deserve, and we spend over a third of our lives at work. So we have to make sure that we are operating at our highest power. This I have seen more with women, and it has been, statistically proven that women will actually not apply to positions, or I will say they are less likely to apply to positions if they don't meet all the requirements, whereas men are more inclined to apply to positions whether they meet 50% or 60% of them. So again, just know that you have so much more control over your career than you're giving yourself credit for. So I just have 10 tips that will help you with just changing your mindset. One is, know that this whole thing is bigger than you. I ended up leaving corporate and I was a recruiter, but I ended up leaving to focus on, my leading or growing my career consulting agency, because I realized that I could make much more of an impact if I were out, doing this on my own than being held back by that position that I was in. I thought about who would not be helped or who would not be impacted if I didn't take that leap of faith. So just know that, your career, what you are set to do is so much bigger than you. It is also about the lives that you will change, the difference that you will make. So ask yourself if is staying in that role that you feel is holding you back will get you to actually make that difference that you are meant to do. The other thing as well is if you are, a parent, or if you have children, if you have people that are looking up to you and looking to you for guidance and looking to you for support, are you, by not doing something that you love in your career, is that affecting how you operate at home as a wife, as a husband, as a mother or father? So just know that if you are actually doing something that you love, that will, in your professional life is going well, that may in turn create a more advantageous lifestyle, personal lifestyle, and will allow you to show up and show up for others much more differently and also healthier. Number 2, I hear this a lot. Don't know what my passion is. Right, and so that one thing may keep you a little bit stagnant. Just know that a lot of us don't really figure it out until later in life. Don't beat yourself up about not knowing your passion, but think about the things that you daydream about. Think about the things that you do outside of work. Think about where your mind goes and start paying attention to your thinking patterns at work. Where do you see yourself really being in your zone? What do your coworkers always compliment you on for doing a great job at? What do your family and friends come to you for help, even outside of work? You may not know what your passion is just yet, but that doesn't mean that it's not out there. It just hasn't yet been discovered. But we are still, growing even throughout our 20s, throughout our 30s. So your passion may change over time, but don't let that hold you back from settling in your career. Number 3, envision the life that you want. What would your ideal day look like if you were doing something that you loved? We don't allow ourselves the opportunities to dream anymore. Dreaming was something we did as children, I guess, right? And then we graduate and start working, and corporate America just beats us down, and we kind of forget to dream and just get excited about our future in our career. So this is something that I have all of my clients do, is write a vision statement down, but envision that life that you want. What would be your ideal day? This is going to sound a little cheesy, but visualization exercises are great. Close your eyes. Think about who you would be with, what you would be doing, who you would be working with, who would you be doing it for, right? And really push yourself to get out of your comfort zone as you're thinking about this. And write down what you see. I had a career coach that I had been working with, and we recently got reconnected earlier this year, and he actually asked me to do this while we were on the phone, and I kind of laughed, and I was like, what? I'm not closing my eyes and dreaming. What are you talking about? He was like, girl, just do it. So it kind of took me a few seconds to get into it. But then as I started to really allow myself to dream, I saw myself speaking in front of hundreds and thousands of people internationally. And, to be honest, that's something that I've always wanted, but because I hadn't really dreamed, I've been so stuck in the just day-to-day of the work and just trying to run the business. I haven't really dreamed about what I want for my life, a year or a month down the road. And ever since I envisioned that, I've been more intentional about, getting speaking opportunities, and I'm starting to get so much more nowadays. So visualize that, write it down, okay? Number 4, write down what you want in your next job. This is something that I have all of my clients do as well. I call it your career values. Just do a brain dump and a list of what you want in your next job. What type of benefits do you want? Do you want to flex schedule? Do you want to work remote? Do you want to travel 50% of the time? Do you want to lead a team? Do you want to, if you don't want to lead a team, do you want to be a sole contributor? But write down what you want in your next job. That will allow you to make sure you're asking the right questions and you're being very intentional about the companies, the jobs that you're focused on. But think about what you really want. If you are just applying to jobs that you think, I meet the qualifications, let me just apply, without really taking into consideration if that job is right for you, that may allow you to settle again. So think about what it is that you want. I have all of my clients do this and they all kind of struggle with it, at first, because no one really asks you, what is it that you want, So I would love to hear what are some of those things that you come up with. And if you can get that list up to 30 or 40, that would be awesome. Number 5, practice bragging out loud and get confident in that. Men do this all the time, particularly white men. So practice bragging out loud, but first do an inventory. Do an inventory of all of your accomplishments over your career. Start tracking that just, every single week or every single month throughout your career. I call it a brag sheet. And if you ever start doubting your greatness or who you are, what you deserve, you can always go back and reference that brag sheet. That will allow you to just increase your confidence so that look, I did all of this stuff right here. I'm definitely much, much deserving of my dream job. This is number 6. Think about the barriers that are holding you back. When I say holding you back, I mean holding you back from going after your next job, going after your dream job, or that's holding you back and keeping you in that position of settling, keeping you stagnant. I will hear this from my clients. Oh, well, I'm waiting for a bonus at the end of the year. They promised me a promotion 6 months down the road, 12 months down the road. Just think about what you could be missing out on or what you could have already gotten if you were to step out and try something new, a new role. Let's say it's September now, right? And you're waiting on a bonus in December. If that bonus is $5,000, I promise you, when you are going after your next job, negotiate. Tell them, hey, I really want to work here. However, my current job is giving me a bonus. I'm expecting to receive it in December. It's $5,000. What can we all do here to compensate for this bonus that I will be missing out on? Right? Problem solved. So write down what those barriers are. And if you can write down those barriers, you can start to identify some solutions. Number 7, practice doing some things out of your comfort zone unrelated to your career. And sometimes I'll just tell my clients hey, just drive a different way home from work. Go to a new restaurant, go to a new park, try a new hobby, go to a meetup, do something out of your comfort zone so you can get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Another thing you can do is get clear on another area of your life. Maybe it's finances, getting clear on your finances, getting in control of that. Maybe you're needing to clean up your space, your living space. What are those other areas of life not tied to professional goals where you could use some organization, you could use some control? And that may help you to kind of clear your mind when it comes to your career. Number 8, communicate what you want and what you're looking for when you're networking, thinking about your career values that you're going to write down. Just know that and tell people this is the type of job that I want. I want to be able to travel. I need a remote environment. I need a flex schedule, right? Just be bold and state your needs, be clear and specific. And the other thing that I would say here too is if you don't know what you want, you're closer to figuring out what you do want. Number 9, know that doing it with fear is better than not doing it at all. You don't want to live with regrets in your career. And if you have been regretting, staying in this job for so long, or not looking at something new, then do it afraid. Number 10 is the last thing here, is work with a career coach that focuses on mindset. Now that I've been coaching for quite some time, I have added a mindset component into my program because I'm realizing that we have to get our mindset all the way together first, because that is essentially that thing that will keep us stagnant and settling. So, work with the coach. Shameless plug. But you do need to really think about your mindset, knowing that you deserve it. We all doubt ourselves. I have clients that earn well over 6 figures. They have master's degrees, they have PhDs and this and that, and they still struggle with this doubt, with imposter syndrome, with feeling like they're settling. So you need someone that's going to help to pull that out of you and help you to step into your greatness. So I hope this was helpful. You feel free to reach out to me. I would love to hear feedback on this. And if you are going to take any of these tips, if you try them out, just let me know. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Latesha_Byrd, Latesha_Byrd. So hit me up. Would love to hear how it goes. So that is all that I have for today. So thank you all for listening, and I will see you next time.
Living Corporate is a podcast by Living Corporate LLC. Our logo was designed by David Dawkins. Our theme music was produced by Ken Brown. Additional music production by Antoine Franklin from Musical Elevation. Post-production is handled by Jeremy Jackson. Got a topic suggestion? Email us at livingcorporatepodcast@gmail.com. You can find us online on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and living-corporate.com. Thanks for listening. Stay tuned.